The Constitution, we the people, it doesn't need to be rewritten. It needs to be reread. Ain't that the truth, guys? Ain't that the truth? What's up, everybody? It is Thursday, March 21st, 2025. We're at the Bitcoin block height of 888,808. Shout out to Jor from 88 Sats Radio. TikTok, next block. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm out in front of the VA Medical Center right now here in the great state of Nevada and the great city of Las Vegas, north of Las Vegas. And this is one of the major reasons I'm still here because I am a veteran, and I've been to a lot of veteran hospitals and veteran facilities, centers. And I got to say, by far, hands down, this is the best one. Hands down. And I came up here to upgrade or update my paperwork and stuff like that. And plus, I haven't been feeling the best, like I told you yesterday. So I'm going to go in here and get checked out at the ER just to make sure, grease my wheels and make sure everything's okay. Because when you're hurting sometimes for a long time or whatever, your body's telling you something. But anyways, let me introduce myself real quick. I always assume people that come here know me. And I've been getting more people saying, hey, I just came to your channel. My name is Jerry from Jerry Loves Freedom, right? I am an American person who loves Bitcoin, right? Just American citizen, veteran, patriot. I'm a constitutionalist. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. Although I did vote for Donald Trump and I donated to Donald Trump. My values are God, family, country, Bitcoin, in that order. And if the MAGA wing of the party keeps going the way it's going, it keeps spreading, and it spreads throughout the Republican Party, and there's no more neocons and rhinos and swamp creatures and stuff like that, I will register myself as a Republican, but right now I'm not. Because a lot of people think I am because I like Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not a Republican. He's a Republican in name, but really he's kind of like a Reagan Democrat. He's like an old school Democrat. Really he is. If you look at the old school Democrats in the 90s and the 80s, I mean, that's what Trump is talking about. But anyways, so I was in there updating some paperwork and stuff, my files, and there was a man that looks like me, my skin color, same age about. We're probably 1, 2, 3 years apart because he told me the year he went into the Navy. I told him the year I went, and we're right around the same, right? And, we were talking, we were getting along. And then I said, wow, because he told me, about what his life was like in the military and everything else. And then I said, wow, you got a pretty good job here, man. He had a nice little office and everything. I said, you're doing well for yourself, man. He said, yeah, for now. He said, your boy got elected. That's how we talk, black men. He said, your boy got elected, and there's going to be a lot of changes around here. And you can tell that he wasn't happy about it. So again, I didn't oppose him or try to argue with him. I just want to see where his mind is at. Because again, I don't just talk to people that agree with me. I love talking to people that disagree with me. Right? So I wanted to hear what he had to say. So I kind of pretended like I was on his side. I didn't say I don't like Trump or nothing like that. But I was like, oh man, really? What's he doing now, man? Because I heard he's cutting a lot of stuff. That's exactly what I said. And he was like, oh man, people are going to be getting fired here, and people are going to be losing their jobs, and blah, blah, blah. Now, again, when you study politics like me, and people that are in the know, that I love this. Love that. The reason why he's doing it is he's not doing it because he's this evil, Dr. Evil guy that's just rubbing his hands together to fire people. That's just not why he's doing it. He's doing it to cut the waste, fraud, and abuse. I said, oh man, that's crazy. I said, did they tell you that you guys are some people lose jobs? I said, yeah. I said, well, as good as job you're doing, you're not gonna lose your job, bro, because you're up there. He's like, I don't know, man, because he don't like people like us. And once he said that, I was just like, okay. And I didn't say anything. I was like, yeah, well, I just kept letting him do his thing. And I was like, man. So then I was quiet for a little bit, and then he he started talking about it again because it was me that's kind of like pushing the conversation forward. And then he's like, yeah, man, now he's trying to push this crypto down our throat and blah, blah, blah. I said, yeah, I heard about that, man. What do you think about that? He's like, oh, man, you know that S is a scam. It's a scam, right? I said, oh, okay. He said, yeah. He said, especially that Bitcoin. I said, wow, really? I said, I was thinking about buying some. He said, man, don't buy that crap. He said, Trump's buying it. You think I'm going to buy that? And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. I call Donald Trump, when it comes to a lot of things, but in particular Bitcoin, because those are my two favorite subjects, American politics and Bitcoin and Trump, is that he's the gift and the curse for Bitcoin, I believe, right? And this is why my little channel of 1,700 people, of 80 to 100 people, 50 people, 60 people, however, watch me. I dedicate myself to educating people, the regular folks like me and you, on what Bitcoin is, why it's important, and why you should get yourself some before these big companies, governments that run the countries, billionaires, buy it. And what Trump is doing is, when he's doing the strategic Bitcoin reserve and talking about it, it's a great thing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. But the curse part is that other countries are going to take note. And a lot of countries are not like America. And we know this, right? And I'm not saying it's bad or good or whatever. I'm not looking at it from that lens. I'm just saying a lot of these countries are not free countries like us. They really have dictators and monarchs and stuff like that that they claim Trump is. They really have that stuff. And they are authoritarian countries. They just are. And do you think if they start scooping up the Bitcoin, you think they're going to start passing it down to the citizens? No. My goal, and again, I can't really move the needle too much, and I have to live in the world that I live in, but I try to change it as much as I can from my little hill I'm standing on, is that I'm trying to get as many regular people into Bitcoin as I can, right? This is why I try to educate people in my videos about how much Bitcoin there is out there and how much we own it, right? We own about 70% of the network, us, people just like us, and the governments and the companies like MicroStrategy. And again, I'm not saying MicroStrategy evil or any company's evil, but again, we need to put it in the hands of the people, right? We the people. Bitcoin is of the people, for the people, and by the people, just like the Constitution of the United States of America. It just is, right? Government not supposed to rule over us. They're supposed to work for us, and that's what Bitcoin does. Unfortunately, things have changed. So that's why he's the curse, right? Donald Trump's the curse because a lot of big countries are going to get involved before little plebs like us. That's the first part, the reason why he's a curse. The second part of the reason he's a curse is because half the country won't buy it just for the simple fact that he's talking about it. You ever heard of a little thing called Trump derangement syndrome? 3 out of 10 people have it. Now, off the top of your head, I want you to answer this question to yourself, maybe in the comment section below if you don't mind. How many people that you know that are registered Democrats or don't like Trump or whatever you want to call them are into Bitcoin like you? I got to be honest, I don't, and I'm a person that knows a lot of people. I can think of one off the top of my head, and she has just gotten into Bitcoin, and she's not like she's not really into it like that, but she's starting to get into it. She doesn't like Trump, and she wants to learn about it because her husband talks about it to her, and she trusts me too. She's a longtime friend of mine. Went to high school with her. Other than that, I can't think of anybody. Can you? I can't. And that's disappointing, man. That's disappointing. This is why I tell people, and you, that we got to get out here and educate people, right? This is why I tell people that we have to understand and learn politics, because the people that are above the Democrat Party, these unelected people, bureaucrats, swamp creatures, the apparatus, whatever you want to call them, that are running these these left-wing networks and liberal media that are just complete and utter liars and telling you that Trump is a this and that and this and that. And again, I'm not saying the man's a saint, but when they paint him this way, the orange man, right? Paint him one way, and then he's, again, because they're against everything he stands for. When Trump says we're going to deport criminal terrorist gang members, that you know what women, that's you know what kids, ex-traffic kids and women and all this other stuff, and you have people that are against it just because Trump is saying that's bad or that's good, and they're against getting rid of the waste, fraud, and abuse and closing the border and lower inflation and whatever the man stands for, they're against it. Bitcoin doesn't have a chance. So this is why we need to educate people and wake people up. And again, they don't have to be a political pundit or nothing like that, like us, but they have to understand what the psyop is, right? And give them both sides. When you go to work and you're working your butt off and you're working 2 jobs because the, inflation's so high or whatever, and then you come home and you turn on the TV and you just watch some news, right? Why would you think the news is lying to you? But everything that they're saying is Trump bad, Trump's a dictator, Trump's a Hitler, Trump's a this, Trump's a that. When it's time to, and you don't really think about Bitcoin because you don't know there is a problem, you don't know what's going on, and then you hear that Trump is putting Bitcoin on the strategic Bitcoin reserve, and again, you're against all those things I just named before because the mainstream media told you. What do you think is going to happen when somebody presents Bitcoin to you if they're not educated? You already know what's going to happen, right? And it's a shame. And I've been talking about politics. I've been on this YouTube journey with this particular channel since September 20th, 2020. And I've been talking about politics since the beginning. How important it was, even when I was stacking gold and silver, how important it was to us gold and silver stackers when I was one. I don't have any anymore. I sold them all for Bitcoin. Argue with me in the comment section. Tell me how stupid I am for doing it. And we'll have a conversation about that. But it's important because if you don't know who the rulers are, or the quote-unquote rulers, and what they stand for, you're not going to know what they're ruling on and who rules you. You're just not going to know. So long story short, we got to get out here and educate people. So, and also Trump is a gift to Bitcoin because, again, he is for the people that are awake and stuff like that, for the quote-unquote Republicans or MAGA or independents or whoever voted for him or actually are with his situation. It is good for Bitcoin adoption, right, on that part. But again, Bitcoin is not just for Republicans or whoever or big banks or whatever. It's for everyone, even evil people. It's a fair money. And we got to make sure we get the adoption rate as quickly as we can. And the only way to do that is to make sure these people are not lied to and get them out of this psychosis and this psyop and break them out of this bad thinking. That's how we got to do it. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And again, guys, if you enjoy my videos, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell if you want to know what's going on with my channel. And if you really like my videos, the way you can help in a poor man's plan is you can share the video. I really appreciate it. If you can't donate, that's the number one thing you can donate. I got some ways in the description box to do that if you like. But at the end of the day, the reason why I'm so passionate about Bitcoin is because I love humanity, man, regardless if they've been psyoped or not. I really, really do. And this inflation situation and our particular debt here in the United States of America of 36.6 trillion or whatever it is right now is not going to get solved even by Doge. It's just not. And I love Doge and I love what Elon Musk is doing. I do, but they're doing it from within a broken system, trying to fix the broken system. And that's just impossible. There's only one way to stop inflation and to stop our debt from rising. Now it's slowed down since Elon Musk has been in, but we got to make sure our grandkids and our great-great-grandkids and stuff like that are not stuck with this incredible debt and racing inflation. And there's only one way to do that, guys. And if you've been paying attention, I'm pretty sure you guys know what that is. It's the best way to save. And for me, the only way to save. And that's Bitcoin. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.